Yeah, pasa YouTube, how's it going, everybody? Got for you guys today a really fun PU battle. Then again, every PU battle is fun just because it's not a serious tier. But this was against one of my followers on Twitter. Unfortunately, man, I do not remember your Twitter name. But when you do see this battle, by all means, leave a comment down below. And I will make sure to add your Twitter link down in the description as well as your YouTube channel. Now, before I get into talking about the team preview, I want to say that we did not exactly reach the like goal in the previous Wi-Fi battle, which, to be honest, I'm not upset about, just because this is the first time this has ever happened, and I think I kind of know the reason as to why it happened, so I will not be making that same mistake that I made in that Wi-Fi battle and any of my future Wi-Fi battles, because I really do want you guys to enjoy my videos and show them support. And that's why I do ask you guys for like goals, because it motivates you guys to leave a like, and it reminds you guys, because I know I have many situations where I forget to like a video, and when somebody does set a like goal, it reminds me and I click it right away so I don't forget later in the video, and that's why I do it. So thank you to everybody who has reached the like goals and who clicks the like button and who really does enjoy the battles that I do upload. So thank you to all of you, and to everybody else, hopefully y'all just enjoy my content in general. Anyways, I don't want to get on into a giant ramble on session about this, but if we do get this video up to 400 likes, I will definitely make sure to upload 2 videos for you guys tomorrow. Now, looking at team preview, I have a very offensively based team. The only real wall is my Vullaby, and going into this battle, the biggest threat I saw on my opponent's team was gonna be that Muck, just because after 2 curses, that thing could possibly sweep through my team, so I really have to watch out for it. So I'm gonna be leading off with my Glalie, as he's gonna be leading off with the Sphere. I am indeed Focus Sash, which means I don't have to worry about anything that he wants to go for, and I do actually predict him to want to go for the U-turn, and I decide just to go for a layer spikes because he has no way of getting rid of them as he U-turns out into the Muck. As I said, I do not want this Muck to set up, so I'm gonna go straight for the taunt, and he makes a very nice play, and he goes for the Fire Punch, predicting my taunt, as he's able to easily knock out my Glalie, which kind of sucks because it would have been really nice to get up another layer spikes, but it's fine because now I can bring in my Choice Banded Adamant Slacking. Unfortunately, because I took off Giga Impact for frustration, I am going to fail to knock out this Muck, as he's going to be able to get off a solid 40 to 50% amount of damage on my Slacking, which really sucks because if I had Giga Impact, I would have been able to just knock out this Muck and not have to take any unnecessary damage. So I'm just going to stay in knowing that I can knock out the Muck. He's actually going to switch into his Marsh Tomb, which I knew frustration wouldn't do too much damage to this, but it actually does a nice solid 35 to 40%, which is really impressive in my opinion, and I know that I will definitely have use for my Slacking later in the battle, so I decided to switch directly into my Simisear, not Simisear, sorry, Simipour. I always get Simisear and Simipour mixed up, and I'm able to easily take the Waterfall. I actually thought he would go for the Stealth Rocks or the Scald, but either way, I'm in a position where I can honestly just go for the Nasty Plot, because it's pretty obvious that he's going to want to switch into his Meganium, as he does bring it in. I was honestly not expecting to one-hit KO this Meganium at +2. I am a little bit ahead of myself right here, but it was just really impressive to know that I was able to knock out Meganium, which is actually very, very bulky. And in my opinion, Simipour, Simisage, and Simisear are kind of overpowered in PU just because of the fact that after a +2, nothing safely takes a hit from them. So he's going to bring in the plus, so fearing the fact that he could be scarfed, I'm actually going to switch out into my Clang, which from the looks of his team, I knew Clang wouldn't be entirely too helpful to me, just because it is based around trying to set up, and as long as he has that Marsh Tomb, I can't exactly set up freely as I would like to. So if I want to lose anything, it's most likely just going to be my Clang, as he brings in the Muck. The Fire Punch is so painfully obvious that I know I can save Clang for later in the battle to just switch into another Volt Switch or Thunderbolt coming from that Plusle. So I switch directly into my Vullaby. Thankfully, he does not poison me or burn me, and I'm going to be able to easily knock him out with the knockoff, which is really great, as it turns out that he was Assault Vest and not the Curse variant, which means I was worried about that thing for no reason, as he brings in the plus. So I'm very positive that he's just going to go for the Volt Switch, predicting me to want to bring in my Clang. So what I'm going to do is actually stay in knowing that I can take a hit, and I want to go for the Roost just to scout out to see what he wants to bring in, and then I can just go from there. As he Volt Switches into the Persian, I am just going to go for the Roost, as I said, and I should be able to take any move that Persian wants to go for, but it turns out that he has the Shockwave, and he's going to get off a really good amount of damage on my Vullaby because it turns out that he is choice specs. I did not at all see that coming. That honestly blew my mind when I found out that he was choice specs. As I'm able to live another shockwave, I just go for the knockoffs just to get off a little bit more damage because at this point I don't really need my Vullaby and I just want to get off as much damage as I can on that Persian, allow me to now bring in my Clang, which should be able to take any hit from the Persian, even if he does turn out to have like hidden power, fire, fighting, or ground. As he switches into the March Stomp, I decided just to go for the rest on the off chance that maybe I do have a chance to set up with Clang later in the battle, because it is rest talk with shift gear and gear grind, so I can set up and try to sweep with gear grind. As I switch into my Beheyeem, it's really the only thing on my team that I want to switch in to an attack coming from this March Stomp, but luckily it doesn't do entirely too much damage, so I'm just going to stay in and I'm actually going to go for the Trick Room, because my plan was to Trick Room with Beheyeem and try to do as much damage as I can to his team before it gets knocked out. But he actually ends up going for the Toxic, which does kind of put a timer on my Beheyeem, but at this point his last remaining few Pokemon don't seem like they can take any hit coming from my Beheyeem, especially because I am quiet max special attack even though I have leftovers. Beheyeem has a massive special attack set, and I really do think Beheyeem is underrated in PU. This thing is practically never seen in PU. At least I think I've only faced like one out of every PU battle that I've had. So I end up knocking out the March Stomp as he brings in the Plusle. To my surprise, I'm actually able to one-shot him with the Psychic, because I think it's Plusle that has the better special offense, or is it Minun? I honestly get them both mixed up just because I've never used them myself. So he's going to bring in the Persian, and because he was choice specs, I know that he doesn't have the fake out, so I'm going to be able to easily knock him out with the Psychic. And at this point his last Pokemon is the Fearow, which I do actually carry the Thunderbolt for water types and flying types, so I'm going to be able to easily just go for Thunderbolt, knock out the Fearow, and that is going to be the victory in my favor. So yeah, I got a little bit of a mini Beheyeem sweep near the end, which I was actually not preparing Beheyeem for, and it just randomly happened because I was able to set up on the March Stomp. Anyways, as I said, it was just a really fun battle. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the PU that I am uploading, and if you are, by all means feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. If you missed any of my 2 previous uploads, they are playing on your screen right now, so make sure to go check them out. And with that, guys, I will see you all soon, and I apologize if I sound tired. I actually just got off work a couple minutes ago and I just really wanted to narrate so I could upload on Sunday. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I am out of here.